How's it going, everyone? And welcome back to Continues to Tick. This last week I was off work, and I was able to enjoy some scheduled time off away from the mundane workflow, which allowed me more opportunity to spend more time with those people that I love, the people that are in my close family circle. And as we just arrived late last night from our long road trip, I will say this week will likely be another brief video. As any of you all who have traveled or gone on vacations know, it's fun, enjoyable, well worth it, but tiring. It's also nice to have made it back home safely. And at the end of the day, that's the most important. You see, on this channel, I know I primarily speak of finances, such as growing a dividend portfolio, but I specifically chose my channel name to reference time and all that comes with it, all that can or may be encompassed by it, which I think for many of us, if not all of us, is to include the things which are the reasons for why we do think of finances so heavily, or plan financially for the future for, in the first place. Such as I imagine for many of us, one of these is to have more time for family, more time to spend in ways we'd rather spend it than need to continue to go to work 40 plus hours a week, which would lead to being further away from these things. Work, after all, appears to be our life, superficially that is. It's such an enormous cog in our rotating life cycle, as we oftentimes spend most of our lives revolving around work-related issues than we do for things we do choose or actually enjoy, or let alone for ourselves. Whether it's going to and from work, stressing over work, either before or after, I'm guilty of both, or the actual act of working 8 to 9 hours a day. You combine all of this together and very quickly you can realize the sour taste of this quote-unquote rat race and the stigma and stereotypes that come with it. Now, I don't want to say this in bitter taste, as I'm not one to fight the current game of capitalism, nor try to avoid it. Rather, I join the game and divert my energy to best playing within the unstated rules. And in my mind, this means to invest. Investing I see as the portal to reaching that freedom, as unfortunately for many of us, myself included, we likely won't hit the lottery. We don't make a tremendous amount of income a year. I'm bringing all of this up because just as nice of a time I had this last week, it makes me realize now that I still need to go into work tomorrow. Not because I want to, but because I still have to. And my goal is to one day go into work for the former, rather than the latter. And at which point that time arrives, I know I would have reached my financial goal. At that point in time, I know I have bought back my time. The journey to this goal continues, and I believe a dividend portfolio remains one of the pillars for me personally, to reach this in a conservative and less risky play, one that I'm most comfortable with. It's a process after all of this. And I often say it's a long game. And because of this, we need to, from time to time, take that vacation, take that break away from work, remind ourselves why or who or what we do this for, and then do those things. Get that feeling of what it will feel like. Maybe even remind ourselves why we dislike the opposite outcome. I guess I'm 2 years into the workforce already, and what I'm learning so far in this journey is that as much as I chose my career path, work will always be work. And day in, day out, I personally usually would rather be doing something else with my own time. And hopefully you guys were able to enjoy some of these clips. We started off in Joshua Tree and made our way down to San Diego and headed back up north to the Northern California region. And overall, it was a really good trip, needless to say. And just as time continues to tick, and I'm continuing on this journey of growing this dividend portfolio, utilizing time the best I can, here we are this week for another portfolio review. And here we are now currently in the Jesse's cash flow portfolio, crossing the $28,000 mark, currently sitting at $28,335. So we've been systematic. And as we continue along this journey, I'm excited and continually excited for what's to come. I know it's not a home run, but these base hits after base hits, just trying to stay systematic with the game plan. So far at least, it looks like it's been paying off. As here we are, no matter the markets over these last couple weeks or months, here we are with an all-time return of 40.73%. So we're back at that 40% return mark, which equates to a total portfolio gain, according to M1 Finance here, with earned dividends and market gain, equating to $4,682. And of earned dividends, M1 Finance calculates I have $354 all time. And of market gain, sitting pretty good above the 4K mark at $4,328. And overall, no matter the swings of the market, if we look at the past month's chart, no matter if it was going down, up, regardless, here we are, sitting comfortably at a 2% return, which equates to a total portfolio gain of $708. And I'm totally happy with that. And as we head over into the activity section for this past week, last week we had a rather uneventful week. I think it was just the deposit, as you can see here, and even just the 44-cent snowball. But here we are this week, starting on June 1st, getting paid by Aflac, $3.63. Also on June 1st, getting paid by American Waterworks, $1.20. And then also getting paid by J.M. Smucker, $3.53. Also by Southwest Gas Holdings, $2.85. And then lastly, also on June 1st, getting paid by Visa, 67 cents. So at the end of the day, when it comes to a dividend portfolio, even if you start out small, over time, just stay systematic. My very first dividend payout, and I'll always reference this, was Apple. It was 8 pennies. And here we are now over time, sitting with the 28K portfolio. I didn't start out with a portfolio of this size. And sure, I do invest quite a bit every week. But just stick to the game plan. Stay systematic. Keep investing week after week or as soon as you can, whether it's month after month. Over time, it will continue to add up. It'll compound. Keep that drip alive if you can. And before you know it, you'll start seeing that progress. Because there's a big difference between 8 pennies and all these dividend payouts here on June 1st. And here we are on June 2nd with our $500 deposit, just like we always do, which is part of the game plan here of the portfolio. Following this, we can see a $12.43 snowball, which is a pretty good size snowball. Definitely no complaints there. And finishing off the week, here we are on June 4th, getting paid by Sherwin-Williams, 52 cents, and a pretty big payout from Pfizer, also on June 4th, of $5.64. That's nearly or about a coffee at Starbucks for those that drink coffee. So that's going to be it for this week's video. Another relatively short video this week, but as you guys know, with traveling, it's pretty tiring, and the first day back is nice to have, and the first day back at work is always a little challenging, which will be me tomorrow, or as you're hearing this video, today, on Monday. And with that, I will see you guys on next week's video, and as always, take care.